Cool. So, massive welcome, everybody. Massive welcome to Louise. Super cool to have you on the call. Um, we are podcast number 6. So that's like, we are like day number 6 without nonstop. So we're going every day. So it's super cool. Yesterday we had on Sita. She was one of those like traveling all over Europe and currently in Austria. She kind of found her sanctuary there. And today we have Louise. She's over in Sweden. I don't actually know which part of Sweden, but I think they saw the Northern Lights yesterday, except for that she was sleeping. So today we're going to have a chat to Louise. She's from Sweden. Share her story, see how we can inspire people to, let's make some changes and don't settle, yeah, let's see where we end up, right? So maybe Louise, you could tell us a little bit about you and what's going on.
Thank you. It's so great to see you. And I just met you like just the other day. And it's super cool that we can do this together. And you're in like one of my top 10 desire travel places in the world in the northern of Norway. So I'm going to go up there one day and see you.
Yes, for sure. Yes, I'm right there. I'm right. Because you were talking about Lofoten, I think, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're right.
It's one of my dream places to go. So yeah.
Right.
But I live on the west coast of Sweden, so I'm really close to Norway. And I live here on a small island. I love island life. I want to be, by the ocean and breathe the fresh air. And I have lived in the city a couple of times, and it's definitely not for me. So I want to have the freedom
like Stockholm
of nature and ocean. Yeah, I haven't lived in Stockholm, but Gothenburg, and I've lived outside of London in the UK and also San Francisco. And it's fun for a short time, but after a few months, I start feeling that I need to get out of the city. So I'm happiest if I'm far away out in the countryside by the ocean.
Right. And you don't mind the cold because you're on an island now in Sweden, right? So you don't mind.
Well, I have this dream of being here in the summer, and I'm a grower. I started growing flowers like 3 years ago, and it's such a huge passion, and the flowers inspire me so much to be in the high vibrations. So ideally to live here in the summer months and grow the most amazing garden. And then when the cold comes in the autumn, I really want to change. I want to go from this island to another island where the weather is still summer and stay there for the winter.
Yeah. Oh my God, I need to connect with you. I got a friend of mine in Canada. She lives for flowers. It's like they have similar climate to us, right? So they have this like it's winter, and then it's summer, right?
Yeah.
So super cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think I started growing food to begin with because I'm a huge believer in clean food, clean water. I want to be as healthy as possible, and I know that the way things have gone the last 100 years, someone decided that we're not going to grow our own food. We're going to buy everything from the supermarket, and it's just not good enough anymore. There's no nutrition. There's so much chemicals, and so I was like, I have to learn this. So I started growing like vegetables and all this stuff. And then when I when I discovered that I can actually grow flowers, that took over my whole garden.
That's good, right?
So
like, yeah,
yeah, and I can just say that if you're looking for more magic in life, if you truly want like a divine experience, you should start a garden because it's so incredible when you come home after a long day at work and you just go out there and look at the flowers. Something happens to you, and I can't describe exactly what it is, but it's just a higher consciousness, higher frequency
Yeah,
that balances you out. Like it restores your system to be okay, even if your life feels like it's not okay. They
yeah,
just make you feel happy. So
right, right. Oh my gosh, no, I really resonate actually because my grandparents actually had a nursery when I grew up. So I was like from small, I was already in the market selling flowers, right? And so yeah, I always also and one of the best things I remember we did for Christmas, we used to drive around and deliver like Christmas stars, like a flower as like a
mhm,
Christmas present to people. And people were like,
mhm.
oh, and it's like, yeah, it's a Christmas present, like in the snow, up and down. Oh my gosh, it was it's a whole different story though. But yeah, super cool. But do you still grow food though, or not?
Only very little. So it's like it's so boring. The flowers are much more fun.
Okay.
But this year I'm having like a break this year because it takes a lot of time and energy and many hours every day to do this.
Yes.
And I'm at a point in my life where I want to change many things. And like I mentioned to you when we spoke the other day, I'm kind of in a place in life where I'm recovering from like some really tough, hard years behind me. I have a daughter that has in Sweden we call it um, what's the word, skolskadad. So,
Oh,
like school injured child, they have basically forced themselves to go to public school and try to meet up the demands that the school has on everyone. And everyone living in Sweden knows that we have skolplikt, so we
yes, you
have to
have to
go
go to
to
school
school
by law.
by law. And even if even if it's an environment that breaks you down, you have to attend, you have to be there. So it's been a very tough journey for all of the years when my daughter have gone through school, and that has had a huge impact on like my ability to bring home the money, like go to work. And I've had to decide, am I going to save my daughter's life, help her, or am I going to go to work and make the money? So I was like, I
Wow.
really need to, I can't have this structure in my life. I need to find a better way to make money and still be available for my family. Like
Right.
if there's a huge crisis, you have to, people are more important than money.
Yes,
but
100%. Sure,
then
sure. So,
but then when you end up in a place where you have no money, we need money to be able
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
live and give ourselves, the nutrition we need, like healthcare. Everything costs money, so it's a difficult situation, and we are thousands, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands families in Sweden alone who's in the situation where families are breaking down because of the system. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have a homeschooling option in Sweden or not?
No, they prohibited us from that in the 70s. So we're
What,
not allowed to
what,
do that.
what,
So
why
many
is that?
families escape Sweden to go to Åland or another country where it's allowed.
Right, right, right. Or freaking go to Costa Rica, girl. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm up for that.
Right, right. We got some good connections in Costa Rica. So but no, because that's my understanding for Norway as well. I don't actually know where. My son is about the same age as yours, big teenagers, and where we lived, there was also not allowed to do homeschooling. Right? It was like if you weren't wanted to, like there was somebody that wanted to travel for like 6 months, and they were like, "Well, you have to write them out from the school, otherwise you will get a fine because they have to show up."
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's just what it is, right? But I'm so sorry that so now was that from the beginning? Was so that's been going on for like what 10 years now then, or what was like
Yeah,
yeah
it will be 9 years or so.
Wow, wow.
Mm,
Do you
yeah.
feel you are in a different, because obviously in the coming into it and then going, you're fighting the system, you're fighting the system, you're fighting the system. And like for me, I also been a very present mom because there's also been some challenges. And it just takes a lot of energy, right?
Mm,
And it's just a constant, like constant battle, right? Do
yeah.
you how where are you now? Where are you on the have the page turned? Are you in the solution period now? What's happening?
Yeah, so the best thing that happened to us was when she finished grade 9. Then school plikt is no longer a requirement. So as soon as you have done the 9 years in school,
Yeah.
then you can go to high school or gymnasium or whatever. And that's by choice. You can do it if you want.
Mhm.
So that changed everything for us. That we were no longer forced to go to school,
Right.
and now my daughter is able to do what she wants, like what she's interested in. So she's all into big engines and cars and trucks, and she likes the mechanical stuff, and she's a really
Right.
cool girl. So she's doing that now, and she's still, it's probably going to be a lifelong project for her to repair her experiences from her going through the school system.
Wow.
So even though now she's on a path where she wants to be, she's really battling like the effects of where she has been, like
Yeah.
every single adult that let her down, everything
Wow.
that has happened. It's a huge thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Do-
I'm in all these parental groups
yeah.
with families that are in despair because they are where we were a few years ago, and they have so many years left where their
Still
kids
to
have to go,
go.
and
Yep.
they are like crying their eyes out. They say, we don't know what to do. If our
Yep.
kid isn't going to school tomorrow, we get fined 200 crowns for each and every day our kid is not turning up. And
Wow.
that's just crazy to me. I don't understand it. So it's got to
Right, right,
change.
right. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, but you organize though, like that's what it sounds like. You have communities, you are talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is
What?
like
What?
a growing, it's a growing thing. It's getting stronger and stronger. And we are
Yeah.
more and more people that are saying enough is enough, that
No more.
we need to do something. We just don't know what to do yet.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
know
Exactly.
our kids are broken, and when our kids are broken, we are broken. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are your tools? Like, what are your, because I hear garden, I hear flowers, like that's like grounding, that's being outside,
mhm.
small place versus big place. These are things that work. Your girl is now into mechanics. I'm sure you're gonna get her something she can fix up herself soon, right? Like, because
Yeah.
these things work, right? But what about like inner work? Do you have like, I don't know, gratitude meditation? Do you do things like that? That's part of your
Yeah.
coping mechanism, if you like. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my my mission um, for my whole life has been, I'm on a spiritual journey. I've always been um, very attuned to the angelics and to other realms, and it's been a huge passion of mine. Like that interests me more than anything else. So I've studied um, all my adult life. I have been to so many courses in personal development, and I've been so interested in understanding why people are suffering the way they do, because I've always known since I was a little girl that it's not necessary for people to suffer like they do. And we get caught in like thought systems and programming here. When we enter into this life on this planet, we forget like our divine essence of who we are and where we came from,
Yeah.
and many of us forget why we even came here. So
Yeah.
i
Yeah.
I believe this is what's happening now. People are waking up, and it's a process that is in motion that cannot and will not be stopped.
Oh, absolutely. I also think there's a shift in consciousness. Uh, And it was funny because I was listening to it the other day, and somebody was saying like, "Oh yeah, but because we say, well, we only use like 10% of our brain." Well, that's because we decided to design it that way. Like, because I believe we are spiritual being having our earth physical experience, right? So in our spiritual world, it's like when we are awake in our physical being, it's like we're just having a nap, right? And we're going through life and we're learning all this stuff. But I do believe more and more people are definitely remembering who they actually are, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And I think
And
we discover more and more that, okay, oh no, okay, all right, the systems here just really doesn't work for us anymore. And a lot of people will be searching for that type of energy. Like, we are discovering that we are not this physical body that is a mechanical or like a machine that you can just force to work 40 hours a week in a job that you don't even like.
yeah,
And we are discovering that we are energy, and the lifestyle that we choose to live has a huge impact on our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health. Like, the
yeah,
spirit has been taken out a long time ago, and we can't live without it now. It's got to come back in. And I believe people like you and me have the chance to be a voice for that, and
yes,
people will rediscover that, wow, I'm so much more than what I've been taught. And
yeah,
then they are, if I'm free, if I do what most people don't do, I give permission to someone else to go, okay, well, I'm really not fine with my lifestyle and what I'm doing, so I'm going to go, I'm going to try
exactly.
something different.
Yes, yes, yes. And also, what I think is super important is that we can help and support. We can be, a lot of times it's just like somebody that says like, you know what, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen to you and I understand you. Because I remember, so for me, coming from the Caribbean to Norway was like, collective energy. I was like, what the heck is this? I don't understand this at all. I don't recognize it. I don't identify with it. I am really lost. And I remember somebody that I just got connected with in the online space like 4 years ago. Like, I've been online since 2019, and I never met her, but we just kind of like been each other's like, oh, there you go, blah, blah, blah. And so she goes like, Nina, you need to talk, and I was like, yes, I do. And we got on the call, and she said, why are you so sad? And when she said it, I was crying for like 45 minutes straight, and I said, she saw me.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she saw, and when I'm talking about, because I totally believe in, see, I'm getting teary eyed just thinking about it. I totally believe that we are, the physical being is down in the valley and we're trying to move it around and we can't really see where we're going. And then our higher self is up on the mountain and he's looking down and he says, turn left. And you go, oh no. He's up on the mountain, he's going, Nina, physical being, turn left. And you go, are you sure? Yeah, you're me. I have your best interest in mind. and anyway, and just to be able to have that conversation with somebody who understands you, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah.
right. And
Mm.
and um, and actually, with that, just to finish that story off, what came out of it is like, because I was feeling lost of my tribe, because I'd been living on a small island, 2,000 people for 17 years. That was my tribe.
Yeah.
And then she said this beautiful thing. She said, Nina, that is always going to be your tribe. But now you're going to expand your tribe to new people, to other people. It's a different purpose. Something has changed. And you got to pay attention. You're meant to be there. I'll be your first tribe. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's what we get to do. And it's like you and me, we get to like have these conversations and go, yeah, this is real. And and,
Yeah.
and, and we got to feel into that.
And it's worth
Yeah.
so much when you meet someone that see the world the same way you do.
Yeah.
Another expansion happens, and
Yes.
then that energy ripples out and someone else comes in, and then that gets bigger, and then it continues on.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that is what I love the most, actually. The happiness I feel when I meet a kindred spirit, like,
yeah,
how I ended up here is through, you know, the community that both you and I are in.
mhm,
That was like, finally, there are thousands of people all over the world who's the same as me, who's got the same values as me, who dream and desire the same way I do. People who
yeah,
have gone from where I was to create the most amazing things I also want to do.
yeah,
So it's like the environment we put ourselves in, it gives you like the set of boundaries of what's possible for you. So if I'm in a workplace
mhm,
where the rules are you got to be there 8 hours a day, and you can only have 20 minutes for a break, and you got to do it every day, and you're not
yeah,
allowed any freedom. And then you go into this other environment where, yeah, you have the capacity to create anything you want.
yeah,
You here you got this salary, and it's not possible to earn more. If I'm there every single hour, I still get the same amount. Whereas
yeah,
here, there is no limit. And where do I want to be? I want to be free. Freedom is like my highest value in life. That's why I live out here, because it's freedom. I can have huge bonfires in my garden. I can climb to the top of the mountain, and I can sit there and connect to the stars and be in complete like union with the whole of the universe if I want to. And there's
yeah,
nobody there to tell me that I can't. And
right.
that's so important. Like, I don't want to force myself the way I have done, the way we are. Um, you know, we are we are accepting to live life in the way society tell us to do. So I was a really good student. I had good grades. I was a good girl. I didn't want to let anyone down. And basically, we learned to live life for everybody else. And that it's an ugly thing if you think about yourself and what you want, you know. Um, so
In Norway and Sweden, we have janteloven.
that's true,
Okay.
jantelagen. And if you just go a little bit outside of the rules and regulations, and you know, conform to do fill in the forms and stand in line and stay in your place, then you're in trouble.
Mm,
But I just think you will be in trouble anyway. It doesn't matter what you do, people will
right.
always have an opinion about you anyway, so
Yeah, yeah. I actually heard it because everybody's like, "Oh yeah, well Sweden don't have the lockdown and you don't have to stay home." Well, I heard it's because he didn't have to because the government said, "Hey, Swedish people, you guys gotta stay home, do this, do this." Go like, "Yes, government, that's fine, we'll do that."
mm,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you just have to send the message out without putting down like strict rules.
Yes, and it's
Yeah,
because of fear, um,
yeah.
because the fear that that is fed into the system makes the Swedish people stay complacent. They won't ask any questions. So that's why it's so beautiful when you're in a community that is based on love and freedom. You are allowed to ask the questions.
Oh, I'm
You
getting
can.
goosebumps. I'm like, yes, exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what happens when you start asking questions? Then you feel your limits dissolve, and you can expand outside what was not possible before. All of a sudden is accessible because you're asking questions.
yes, and you supported asking questions, right?
Mm.
And you're not the only one asking questions because there's tons of other people all over the world asking questions and
Yes.
finding other solutions, right?
So we are led to believe that we are single. We're like singularity, and it's if something is wrong, like my child is not turning up to school, something must be wrong with my child or with my family. Blah 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 blah. Um, and then the whole system is set up to make you feel and believe that something is wrong with you. Nothing wrong with the school, nothing wrong with
No,
society.
right?
So everything is pointed at you. What are you doing wrong? And then you have to like go through all these processes of um, finding that out, what's wrong with you. But when I discovered that there are thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands families that are telling me exactly the same story, the same like development of when the kids started school. After 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years is when it breaks down completely, and the kids' mental health breaks down. And everyone is saying exactly the same story,
Mm.
how everything develops over time. So it's these little things over long periods of time that shapes your brain, that hijacks your brain to conform, to do something in a certain way, and that has to go.
Yeah.
That
No,
is so
yeah.
destructive.
Yeah, and you become tired because you're constantly on this battle. And like you say, and it was interesting how you say it breaks down is year 4. Because first one, you're strong, then you're still strong. Second, you're going, you're believing in yourself, you're having the faith, you're fighting the system, you know, and then eventually, yeah, if you don't get help and support, you burn out, right?
Yeah,
And
that's true.
and when your immune system, your guards are down, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And if you
um,
don't feel like you belong to a community that can see you, that understand you,
yeah,
if the only thing you're getting is being questioned, not trusted, then you lose it. Even if you're very strong, even if you have like a strong inner mentality, like even if you are divinely connected, if you are alone and you are made to believe that you have no community, no safety, then you will break down. But
yeah,
when you discover that there is a whole community of people that are exactly the same, you become stronger and you go in to fight again and you will
yeah,
win.
yeah,
But if you don't know that, like I thought, oh, it must be something wrong with us, then you do break down and you
yeah,
don't see a way out. Um and it's so sad. It
no,
happens to too many families in the
right,
world.
right. So we got to make sure that you share down below this podcast where people can. What's the Facebook group, or maybe you have a website? I'm not sure how you set up.
Yeah,
So that, yeah, so people know where to
absolutely.
find it in case. And is it? I guess it's only Sweden so far in the
Yeah, in if you are in Sweden and you hear this and you are in this situation, there is an amazing community that I will post the link for you.
yeah,
I'm here. You can write to me as well,
yeah,
and even if I can't change your situation, I know what you're going through. So maybe I can point you in some direction,
yeah,
or just let you know that you are. There is nothing wrong with you. If you feel that something isn't right, it's because it isn't. So
yeah,
you got to just stay on course. You know your kid better than anyone else. So if
yeah,
something is wrong, it's not your kid. It's
yeah,
the school system that is
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
in states they use a term called unschooling, right? And interestingly again because so we have the uh, so that's the community that you talk about for people that have children in the school system where it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's
And
it's
then
called
yeah,
strong parents. So
no,
it's
perfect, that's it. What?
helping each other stay like strong and worthy and
Yeah,
capable.
yeah, exactly. So that's one. And then the other one is that you now also found another community where you can use it for to build your because now like she's in high school and she's doing the mechanics. So now that's kind of, and you're still fighting the case because you've been through it. So you can lift people. I call it like making a bridge. I'm trying to find a camera hack. So instead of having people have to go down to the pit and come back up again, you are helping to give them a bridge and say, I know what you're going for. Let me help you through that. Pass it over easier, right?
Mm.
Um, and yeah, and then super cool because the unschooling part that's actually from our online business community. That's why I picked up on that, and that's so many. Like in the States, I don't know. How many people are homeschooled in the States? It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
It's
and they go.
natural. It's just like it's a natural thing. There's nothing to question.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, see, I'm a single mom, so I'm like, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I gotta work, or I gotta not work, but I gotta do. Well, see, for me, I gotta have time where I can do my income producing activities, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, for other people. But anyway, yeah. So our online communities, that's the other one too, because that's also the one that are like open minded to all this stuff. Like,
Exactly.
yes, let's create. Yes, let's do. Let's do and celebrate each other for doing it. Right?
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah. I wonder if you're wondering maybe we'll have like a schooling system within our business community, huh?
That would be so awesome. I think we could do it.
I know a lot of people are looking into doing like off grid communities, right?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, one of the heroes in our community, I'm sure you know her. She's called Louise Millman.
yeah,
Yeah, I love her so much and what they're doing. So they basically were able to, thanks to this community and this freedom business that we are doing here, has allowed them to buy land and build this off-grid paradise that they live in. And I think they have, what's it, 3 kids now. Um,
yeah,
and it's so much fun to follow them, and inspires me of what is possible. So I don't
yeah,
dream. I don't dream about. Um, I dream about living a simple life. Like, I want to be in nature. I want to be a free spirit, but I also want to, if I want to travel, for example, to Hawaii and work with the dolphins, because I'm also a healer. Like, my biggest interest has been like hands-on healing,
oh,
uh, and I have gone many years studying the biodynamic craniosacral therapy. So I've worked with people a lot with all kinds of pain, physical pain or mental or emotional pain. And the dolphins, they really have a high frequency vibration and want, same as the flowers, they are really
yeah,
here to help us into alignment of our original self, like coming back to our origin, where we always have like 100% perfect health in our midline, in the center of who we really are.
right,
And that, why it's so important to look at what is bothering me, what continues to bother me and be a huge, heavy weight on my heart every day, every week, every month, every year. I'm reliving this. What is not working in my life? And then be open to change your lifestyle in some way. Because I know every single person that I talk to have these inner callings, inner
yeah,
knowings, inner dreams that, oh, I really wish I could do this, but I can't because I have debt, or I really wish I could do this, but I can't because I have to go to work. It's this programming that we are helping each other to open up.
yeah,
um, so I want to live a really simple life. Like, I don't need much. I want the freedom to do what I want, basically. If it's traveling to Hawaii to be in a healing retreat, I will do that.
yeah,
But most of the time I want to be with my animals. I want to be grounded with the trees, and I want to go out on the sea, and I can go fishing if I want to. Like, I
beautiful.
will do my own fish for dinner. Like,
Yes,
I desire that kind of living. I don't want chemicals. I don't, you know,
perfect.
I know that this planet is so beautiful, but if we always are too stressed, that we think that the only thing we have to spend our time is go
Mm,
to a job and
yeah,
work to pay
yeah,
the bills, and leave our kids for most of the time in nursery and school and activities, that you have no free time ever, then that is a choice. And it's hard when you realize that I chose to say yes to live that way. um, and I can choose again. Like, i
right,
can i can choose
right,
again. I can make
yeah,
new decisions, and
yeah,
when I make a new decision, life shifts.
yes,
And
yeah,
when we start going on that journey, it feels happy and fun in the beginning, and then the old programming comes back. Like your history will
Yeah,
knock
yeah,
on the
sure.
door and say, "You're not going to be able to do this. You just have to go back to work, girl."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you know that that will always happen, like what you are used to is this programming that we are all born into. And if you are on your own, if you're not in a community of people that are moving in that direction, that wants to go beyond the programming, it's very difficult to do that. But if you are surrounded with people and you made the decision, the right people will come, the right situations will come, and your life will change over
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And my life definitely has changed very much, like especially on an internal level of what I feel I'm capable of doing and the conversations that you and I are having. I never had these conversations prior to me finding this community. Like
Right.
I had my own ideas. I kept them to myself.
Yeah.
Like it was in secret. Like all my crazy dreams, if I said them out loud, people would crush them straight away and say, that's not even possible. You should stop dreaming now.
Right, 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 right. Exactly, exactly. But thank goodness, though, more and more people are going like they want to escape the matrix, you know. And the thing is, though, you know, the crabs in a bucket scenario. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They can't get out because they keep on pulling each other down instead of just helping out, and they will. Most of them, except for two, will get out of the bucket, right? So if it's only left in the bucket. But
Yeah.
no, no, absolutely, and I think that again, so for myself, right, when I found this community, because what I was trying to do, so I came in, I found this through, I was sitting on this my little tiny island in the Caribbean with 2,000 people, and then I was like, okay, I want to do things online, okay, so and then I was looking around and I couldn't find, I was like, and I was sitting there by myself, and I was like, damn, I got questions. And then I was kind of the IT person on the island, so it's like, damn. I mean, I can't like if I were to ask anybody, it would be myself, right? Oh my gosh! And then I found the community, and the freedom of that. Like first of all, like what we do is like you have like 90-day runs, you have master classes, you have community groups. Like some of them are like 10 people, some are 100 people, some are 8,000 people, and some are 20,000 people, right? From all over the world. And then so, some people want to go in that corner and talk about horses, and some people want to go over there and talk about, crystals, or whatever people do, whatever journey they're on, or homeschooling, like, or unschooling. That's another big one, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and I see some of the people in community, they're big advocates for the feminine, like you gotta have sex every day, and if you don't have sex every day, it's not good. You need to come and talk to me. And it's like, okay. And it's like, well, I'm not going to be doing it today because I got my period. So I honor that. So I just need to rest. So could somebody else like host something? It's like, what? I mean, it's unheard of, right? In the normal workplace that you can like take a day off because like, yeah, my energies are off, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's beautiful. So and so beautiful, beautiful, and the support through doing so many things. Oh, I lost you. Oh, there you are. And through both business, but also in terms of who we are and who we get to become, right? And that is priceless, Yeah. She's probably gonna hop on back on again. This is also like with that's what technology is, and that's no problem. It's okay, and I do really hope she will be able to come back. Otherwise, we had to do a part two. So let me just hang on. Let's have a look. She will be joining in a minute. So yeah, I mean, and this is like there's another one that says like you gotta sit around, be around the people, like 5 people that you are with the most. That's how you're vibing. That's where you're at. That's where you're going to be learning. So look at who those are, right? You want to be in expansive places with people like they have goals, they have dreams. That's where you want to be. That's in a growth places, right? So that's kind of looking. Oh, here she is. She's back. Let me see if I can get her back on stage. Let's see. Yay!
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Don't know what happened there.
That's
uh,
okay. Good. I'm glad
okay.
you got.
All right.
But
So where were we?
yeah,
What were we
we
saying?
we were talking about community and how important
Ah,
that
yeah,
is.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's what I was gonna say is that the discovery process that you have to go through is starting to ask yourself the right questions, the questions that nobody asked you in your life before. Because we're not meant to ask questions, we're just meant to follow the system, right? So I think that is psychologically something that is non-existent in a normal life.
yeah,
So when we
yeah,
start doing things that normal people don't do, that's
yeah,
when other things will become possible, available to us.
yeah.
So
Yes, exactly.
um, and it's such a fun high vibration when you are surrounded by people who are doing this. You know, it's yeah, if you have gone through life feeling that you are all alone, that you don't really fit in, and you've had thoughts and feelings that, oh, what am I doing here? Like, there must be something more to life, and so on and so forth. I know most people have these, thoughts, but they blind themselves. They just continue to do what they know how to do.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when you discover like this,
There's another way.
it's
Yes,
so freeing, and you're like,
I know.
yes, I am allowed to be who
Exactly.
I am, because
Yeah, yeah,
there are
yeah.
thousands of people doing it.
I
They are
know.
just like me.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%. And that's the other thing too. Is like so because what Louise was talking about is that so we have an educational platform, right? So what happens is that you watch something, maybe something like this, and say, hey, you know what? I want to look into what you do as a business and as a community and all this online. And then you go into an academy, and it's like $49 because it's like 50% off, and you have 14 days money back guarantee. But in there is the discovery process, and in there it's like, what's your goals and dreams? Oh, you gotta write it down. Like, why do you want to make, say, if your goal is $5,000 a month or whatever it is, why do you want to do it? What's the purpose? What would that do? How would you have impact on yourself and other people? Like, you really have to sit down and kind of think about these things. Uh, 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 and then on top of that, and this is also where it gets really cool, because then you have automation. You also get a call with somebody, so you can ask any questions. Oh, it's super cool, so cool. Well, the other
Yes.
thing, I actually need to find it. There is um, somebody put it up, and they said, when you go to a job interview, like they say, like, for example, how it's like a fast pacing workplace, and how do you work in those kind of environments, and in your mind, and what they're saying is that we're going to make you work like crazy, and we're not going to pay you, but we do expect you to come in and work overtime when we need you to, and all that stuff. It's like,
Mm.
that's what they're saying, right? You go like, no.
And we're like,
But
yes, 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 yeah, okay, okay.
yeah, I'll come in, I'll do that. It's like, and it's like I was saying, because like, it's not that, like, time freedom is within our business, but that does not mean you don't have to spend time on it. What it means is that if you're a morning person, do the work in the morning. You like to work in the night, work in the night. You want to take a day off, take a day off. You want to work Sunday, work on Sundays. I mean, you choose when to spend the time, because of
Mm.
course you got to spend time. You're building a business, it's your own business, you're growing it, you got to be there, you got to do the work, but you choose when to do it. And that's the time freedom, because you won't miss your son's soccer game because you can choose not to work at that time, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah. So this is I'm somebody who, like, most if you're a humanitarian, if you're a healer, if you are like animal communicator, grower, like all these, I don't know what to call them, but it's a personality that you want to be of service, that you want to be here for a mission that you have.
Yeah,
Many of us are very heavily programmed, so it's difficult for us to actually make a living doing the things that we are really good at. So when it comes to being presented with a business, my immediate reaction when I was presented to this at the first time was, wow, this is the best thing I have ever seen. I have never heard or seen anything like this anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
But I can't do this. I can see definitely other people can do this, but I can't, because I had many reasons. Like I was burnt out. I was too tired. I don't want to have a business. I don't want to run a business. I'm not a business person. Like all these thoughts I identified myself with. And then what I did know, though, is that the technology from Japan, coming from Mr. Shiro, and what he has created for families on the planet really resonated with me. Like I knew that whatever it takes, I have to make sure that I have this for me, for my family, and for everyone that I care about. There was no question about that, and I had experienced it personally, what it did to me using this technology, and I definitely knew that is what I need for my life.
Yeah.
But the business side, I felt that was over my head. That was for everyone else, but not me.
Right.
And then as I got into learn more, and being in a different environment, things started to shift inside me, and I could see, hang on a minute, of course I have to do this. Like,
Yes.
this is opening every door that I have ever wanted to open. And I called my mentor Maria, and I was like, okay, I'm done now. I have to do the business.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? You?
You?
Because I said I definitely didn't want it, in the
Right.
beginning.
Right. 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 Right.
And I can see now that it's
Sure.
because my perception of what it was, my old programming, my history, my nothing that I had in my system could identify with even the word business, because
Yeah, running a successful
I
business.
was,
Oh.
yeah, I associated like business to men in suits making a lot of money, being cruel to people, and all these kinds of crazy thinking about what it is. And this is not like any, this is not a business to me. It's a lifestyle, and it's it's a freedom model where I'm able to make money my own way, without having to go to work and work 40 hours a week for another 40 years of my life. I mean, I'm 40 years old, and I can't see myself doing another 40 years of working that way for me. It's just not an option for me.
Yes.
So it's really fun to learn and expand and change my set of emotions, my set of thinking, my programming is it's changing all the time, because I'm dedicated to do
Yes.
life differently and live a lifestyle that is good for me.
Yeah. Good for
Yeah.
you. Wow. Yeah. No, that is so cool. And the thing is, once you have the commitment, you will get there. And and the thing is, because we have so much limiting beliefs, we just have to get rid of them, and then it's the next layer and the next layer, right? And
Yes.
yeah, and that's the process. That's called life, right? But it's beautiful, and I can see it. Like, probably your mate was like, you? No, you said you don't want to do it. Yeah, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Do it. Oh, how cool, right? Oh,
It
wow.
is cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
working with people and animals and helping people heal and studying this for my whole adult life, I have so much gratitude for what the company is doing that
Yes.
is
So,
holding our back.
yeah.
And one of the main causes of illness for us today we know is stress, but another thing that maybe goes even deeper than that is electromagnetic radiation, like radiation poisoning from the environment that we live in. And this has been going on for many years, I know, but it's increasing so much like the last few years. It's crazy how many more mobile masts are going up everywhere. Even here, like far out in the countryside, there are masts popping up on every mountain almost here. And I said freedom was so important to me. I want to be able to go where I want, when I want. But what I discovered, especially the last year, is every time I go to, like I went to an amazing convention in Stockholm, the Freedom Fest with our community. It's like the best ever. But I discover when I'm in the hotels in the big cities, something is off. Like I don't feel good. I get like dizzy, headaches. I feel sometimes, I don't know if I want to throw up or not, like tingling in my lips and like not feeling quite okay. And after this country girl has been in the city for a weekend, when I get back home, I get really sick, and that is every time. And I don't like to say this out loud. I don't want to make this a reality. But I started to think that it's not worth it. Like maybe I will just stay out here. Like I will stay on my island, and I will accept that I won't go to all these things, but it's not worth it for my health. And there is a lot of new technology happening to help us with this, because it's invisible electromagnetic frequencies that goes through the air. Like in my home here, you have your Wi-Fi, like the thing sitting on the wall sending out the signals, and then I have the mobile mast on the mountain behind me, and then it's everyone's mobile phones and computers and electrical devices, and our kids, like our small babies kids, they're sitting with like laptops and iPads and phones, so many hours every day. So we are very affected because we are energy beings. Our electromagnetic field is supposed to be vibrantly healthy and intact, because that's when we are in tune, aligned, connected to our soul being. But what these other types of electromagnetic frequencies do is they disturb, they cut off the contact that we need to have to be healthy, happy, and our brains are getting hijacked by the information crossing without us even knowing or seeing. So why I have to tell you this now is because we're getting this new technology, patented technology, that we are able to very soon provide for everyone in Europe. It's already available in Japan and Asia, from our beloved company. And this is coming in to really help us, like harmonize our environment and make sure that we are not negatively affected by all this radiation. So when I first saw this, a couple of weeks ago, and I was learning about this, I cried of happiness. Like I could see.
Oh, because it means you might be able to go to the city.
It means I don't have to stay on my island. I can go to the city. I can take the plane to Hawaii because I have this thing that protects me from the negative radiation.
Right. And the thing is, this device is literally, it's like 500 grams, and it has a C port and a USB. So you can actually have it running on a battery pack. Right? Which means you can
literally... coming, baby.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. And I am the same as you, because literally I'm also sitting, like I have my laptop, my phone, my son has the Xbox, his phone, tablet, it's all around us. But what this does, the MGuard, the new product, is that it protects 8 meters in radius. So that's like 32 feet, right? So that is super cool. And it's 4 days, girl, and then it's going to be released in Europe. So guys, and if you've been on my page, you will see me talking about it. That's the one. That's the one.
It
And
is.
again, you can run it like a business if you want to,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can have it at
It's
your
true.
home, and yeah. Oh, I'm so with you. I've been diving into it. I go like, wait, what? I didn't
This
even
is
know.
so much better. This is better than anything I've heard in a long time. It's seriously super charging
Yeah,
my system right now.
I know. No, but listen, so the thing is, okay, so here. So I know that we all frequency, everything is energy, right? But then when it was explained to me, well, actually, all of your organs they vibrate between 30 and 600 megahertz, right? Those are your energies, right? And those are the ones that get so disrupted by the Wi-Fi's pollution,
Mm.
electrical magnetic frequencies,
Yeah.
that it has like a direct impact on our organs, right?
Mm.
And and then also and when we learn that this device harmonizes, it's like, oh, anyway, I'm super excited to for this as well. I'm with you, but and I totally feel you though, because it means that yeah, you can go, right, you can travel.
And also what it means is that if we want to go online and be free in the world, be anywhere in the world and still work online,
Yeah,
we are given this protection so that we are not suffering from the radiation when we are on our phones.
right.
Um, and it was like so interesting. I don't remember his name now, but he shared a video where these two guys in our community went to a hotel room in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
and they both felt when they got in the room that something is wrong here.
Mhm.
We don't feel good. It's like take your hand on your forehead, and it's like, what is going on? And they have downloaded this app on their phone that can read where the mobile masts and things are in your environment. And it was like, yeah, there's one. Yeah, there's one. There's like Vodafone
The,
and all
yeah,
these
the
kinds of huge radiation masts all around this hotel in the big
TV
city.
towers. Yeah, yeah,
Um, and there is like a detector that you can use that measures in hertz how big or small the radiation really is, and it was crazy big, like
that's over
uh
3,000, I think, right?
yeah. And it's like no wonder that we feel like we are burnt out or that we are sick in some way, because this is really getting into our brains
Yeah,
and our entire system. And it's so important what we do with our thoughts and energy, because we have our electromagnetic field around us. So the moment that you get into the present moment and you just spend 1 second to connect with your field, it's intact again.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we are derived from remembering that. But as soon as we are like, yeah, okay, here's my field, I love you, and you can just send like just a small thought from your heart and send it out to your field, will make it glow again. um but what I was going to say is, they have this amazing M guard that is called, and when they put it on, when they were in this hotel room in Hong Kong, the meters that were reading off the radiation went straight down. It was like zero,
Yeah,
and the crazy
amazing.
hologram was like almost down to zero, and it went quiet, and you could just feel that the environment was harmonized.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I felt the feeling.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I know
yeah.
that
No, I
I
think,
want it. I know you want it. I want
yeah,
everyone that I know to
yes,
have this, because it
exactly.
will change our environment and it will change our life. Like we are discovering crazy rapid development of all kinds of illnesses right now. And I know that when we harmonize our environment, our nervous system can finally just come down
Yeah,
and get into stillness. And as soon as we go there, our self-healing works. Like we
yeah,
are
yeah,
naturally self-healing energy beings.
Yeah.
If we are constantly in the stress and being bombarded by frequencies that we can't live inside, we get sick, and any common sense will
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this
So
is so freeing to me. I
yeah.
love this so much, and I want everyone to know about this because it's
Yeah,
so
me too.
important.
And that's the thing. So it's the change your environment, change your life. Like that's the device that will combat the or harmonize the frequencies in your environment. And then on top of that is the water ionizers, and now you're drinking living water. So and this is what I find too, and I'm also so grateful for the company, because what we're doing is that, and the company is 50 years old and it doesn't release products all the time. It's like this, like like they don't release new products pretty much full stop. It's like, unless they feel what this is something that really needs to comes in addition. And it's like you're saying, because a lot of us doing our business, we choose to do it online, right? And I think that's where it's coming in. That's why this device is coming now from Mr. Oshiro, which is the owner of the company. He goes like, well, let's introduce this because this can actually help everybody. He's now in this holistic, everybody, everything has to be good. Health has to be good. And so it's not just money. No, what do you do money if you don't have health, right? So that's why he's saying that, you know what? In order to be a Kangen distributor, you have to have a Kangen machine. Because he's saying, and then you get the business for free. That's how it works. It's like you buy the product because it's good for you. And it's a one-time investment. You don't have to buy anything else. You buy the product and then you get the business. And that's the same with this M-Guard too. It's like you buy the M-Guard, and if you want to, well, here's the business. But you can't just buy the business, because he's saying health first. So it's the holistic is the whole picture of what we do. And it's like, because I always say, it's like people, Kangen water. Yeah, it's like Kangen water is great, but you can't go and have McDonald's the rest of the day and think that you're going to be all healthy. It's like, it's part of the solution. Like, you got to go out. I'm a strong believer that you got to go out in nature. That's where everything happens. It's like, I love the sea. I'm like a sea girl. I can just sit there and I go like, oh, it's like, that's my girl. Yeah. So I'm actually looking into, because where I'm living, I'm in town, and actually I'm looking into now to either to move down to like to be at the ocean. I want to be so I can just like literally go touch the ocean, and I'm like, yes. So I can't go in it though, because it's freaking cold up here. It's not like Caribbean where you just go, oh, just go for a swim. Like, nope. It's like,
it's freezing cold.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me though. So what is the if it was like one thing, we're gonna round it off. It's been the hour, so even though it can be longer, but I feel it's coming to a good kind of phasing out. But what is the one thing, if you were to take something like this would be my message? Like, what's your like message that you want to give to people, and kind of for them to take away and go, oh.
I think my one message would be that you are here for a reason, and please just remember that you are a divine being, and your presence here makes a difference. Whether you are on a journey of purpose where you want to create something or not, you are totally naturally a self-healing environment. You are beautiful energy, and every single one of us have gone through life, and life causes us traumas, dramas, and we learn things when we are humans. But the most important thing that we can ever remember is that we are the light. We create the new world, and the words we speak and the energy that we allow ourselves to be is what changes the world.
Beautiful. Yes, exactly. Wow. Thank you so much. Louise, for that. And you know what? I actually live on the biggest island in Norway, actually.
You do? Wow.
I'm still on the island.
So two island girls.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to, be around your space and see what's going on. And don't forget to drop the information about the schooling thing. And
Yeah.
anybody of you watching, if you like to learn about what we do, just reach out to us. And also, if you don't want to run it as a business, but you want to look into the frequency thing we talked about, that one is super important. And if you are in Europe, it's going to be available now. If you are Canada, United States, you got to wait a little bit because it needs to be approved. Just like things like that. Anyway, lots and lots of love. Thank you so much, Louise. And
Massive
yeah,
thank you.
I don't know who's going to travel first.
Yeah, I know, it's so exciting. Thank you so much. It's been
Yeah.
wonderful to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.